I met Ren for the first time. I was really excited to meet Ren because like Ren is so like positive. So I wanted to see if in real life he would be like this evil menace. He's exactly the same, which was very disappointing. I'm just kidding. Like, I say that he's the same person, but actually Ren in real life is so mean. Ren tried to kill me. I've told not just Ren, but I've told literally every single member that I've met up with. I am not good with rides. And I know when I say stuff like this, you know, some people also be like, oh yeah, don't worry, I don't like roller coasters either. I'm like, no, you fucking bitch, you don't understand. This is the difference between people who don't like to eat peanuts and people who eat peanuts and will die. If you put two people together and one of them had a peanut allergy, you would not say things like, oh my god, it's okay, I don't like eating peanuts either. No, the person with the peanut allergy will eat the peanut and die. And they will never breathe again. The person next to them who doesn't have the peanut allergy will just be like, you know, discontent with the flavor of the peanut and then move on with their life because they still have a life. So this is the difference between me saying, oh yeah, I can't ride roller coasters versus, oh yeah, I can't ride roller coasters either. So I just want to put it out there. You guys don't understand how bad I am with roller coasters. But Ren, on the other hand, is so psychopathic that, you know, he doesn't seem to understand that, like, you know, people can die. Ren being the positive psychopath that he was just like, Enna, this one. So there's this ride called Indiana Jones. Apparently it's the best ride in USJ, and it's not a roller coaster. Ren was like, this ride is really, really good. It's like the best one in USJ. You have to try it. He made it sound like we were gonna ride something and it was just like riding through a museum or something, you know? It was like, there are twists and turns, but it's really slow. Throughout the entire 1.5 hours, I didn't even think that it was gonna be like that bad. You know, there were some times where I was like, what if this ride is really like scary? And you know, I would ask Ren again. I'd be like, dude, is this ride really okay? And then Ren would just be like, oh yeah, don't worry. Ren gives very good reassurance, and that's because he's a psychopath. When I asked everybody else around me, they were like, oh yeah, this ride is fine. So I was being gaslight for the entire 1.5 hours. I was standing beside psychopaths like fucking Ren. I literally just felt like it was gonna be fine. It really did. Like, everybody really made me feel like I was a part of a family that loved me and that supported me. I didn't know that there's people in this company that actually want me to stop breathing. And I don't remember who said this, but somebody said that they were also pretty bad with like rides and roller coasters, but this one they really enjoyed. Oh my god, I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, like the best ride in USJ isn't even a roller coaster. It's like, it's a family-friendly, toddler-friendly ride. Like, that's awesome. You made a really funny face when you saw the video for safety stuff. Oh my god, I totally forgot about this. Halfway through or something, or like while we were approaching the end of the line, there was like this safety video. In my head, I'm like, why do you need to put out a safety video? And then I was like, you know what? This is Japan, you know, Japanese culture. They want to make sure that people know the rule. There's so many examples on the video saying like, okay, put your stuff in the front pockets of the seat. Keep your hands in and put on your seatbelt. And I was like, why do you need a seatbelt for a very underwhelming ride? I did think about it for a second, and I asked Ren again. I was like, Ren, why do they have a safety video? And Ren was just like, well, it's just to keep you safe. You know, Ren being the psychopath that he was. And again, I asked other people, I was like, oh, is this gonna be okay? And everybody said the same thing. And then we finally get to the end, okay? Where we are the next people to get on the ride. There was like this picture. I think they take a picture like mid-ride or something. And there are these strangers in the picture who look like they were making faces like, I can't make it, you know? Like they were screaming. And you know, again, I was like, I see this poster. I'm like, Ren, why are these people screaming? Honestly, I just sound really dumb now because like I had all these hints around me and I was just like, okay, I will trust Ren. Because again, Ren is such a nice person, right? Ren is such a caring person, right? Ren is just such a nurturing alien. Right? Ren would never lie. Ren meditates. He does breathing streams. Like who lies if they do breathing streams? So I was looking at these photos of these strangers screaming on a poster, and I was like, Ren, why are they screaming? And Ren was just like, cause they're having a lot of fun, Enna. That's gonna be you and me. Like, they have like these gates that separate us for each, like, only like 3 people can sit, you know, per aisle of the cart. And I was first. Behind me was Kyo, and then behind him was Ren. I realized that if I go in first, I'd be sitting on the edge. And you know, like, I was like, okay, it shouldn't be bad because, you know, again, it's an underwhelming ride and you're just riding it to look at things. But there was like this voice inside my head. And honestly, this voice has like helped me throughout my entire life. This voice was the one that told me to run away from my schizophrenic mother. This voice was the one that told me to stand up for myself when, like, you know, everybody in my family was like saying shit and stuff. This voice was the one that was like, hey, this friend is toxic. Maybe you should just like cut them off. This voice has saved my life again and again and again. This voice is my bestest friend, and it's coming from within myself. And I barely ever hear this voice. It was only in dire situations throughout my entire life have I ever heard this voice. This voice before I went on the ride was like, don't go on the edge. I heard this voice and I was like, bestie, is that you? When I was a kid, I named this voice Tianshima, which means like heavenly mother. You know, my guardian angel. I was like, oh my god, you're back. You're still here. I look at Kyo, who's like 183 centimeters now because of his like fucking steroids. I looked at him like, you're going in first. Please and thank you. Kyo looks at me and he's like, okay. So he's on the edge now. So I'm in between Ren and Kyo. And we're at the very front of the cart, okay? We're at the front of the ride. In my head, because like, you know, when I get car sick, you sit in the front of the car and it's a little bit better. Just in case. I was like, oh, maybe if I sit at the back or the middle, I might feel more nauseous. So if I sit at the front, I'll feel less nauseous. So in my head, I was applying car logic to like a ride because I'm fucking stupid. Because I want to kill myself every day. Now, I feel like something bad's gonna happen. I just feel it. My guardian angel was telling me in my head, I am so smart for putting Kyo on the edge. He can handle it. He's fine. I would have preferred maybe to sit next to Petra because Petra's like my biggest emotional support anchor. But then I remembered sitting next to her on the plane and she was feeling anxious. So I was like, okay, maybe I have to sit beside someone who just doesn't feel anything. And that was Kyo. And also, Ren is supposedly, at that time, I thought he was gonna be, like, he was a positive, nice person. So I was like, okay, I'm sitting in between somebody who will not be affected by my anxiety and also somebody who will be, like, really positive and really, like, supportive this entire ride. And then the ride starts. And immediately the ride goes at, like, fucking, I don't even know. Like, it goes to the speed of like an airplane. All of a sudden my guardian angel, like, I left her. I don't know where she went, but she wasn't here anymore. But she gave me one instruction and it was to not be sitting on the edge. So it went super fast. Then we stopped really abruptly. So what happens when vehicles go super fast and then stop abruptly? You feel like this like jolt. Okay, you know, if you ever drive a car or if you're ever in a car and they like, you know, go super fast and then they just hit the brake, that's what it feels like. You know, if you're a muscular, I don't know, like 150-pound individual, you can handle that sort of pressure. Like just braking really suddenly, you'll be like, okay. But I am made out of glass. My bones have not had proper calcium since I was being breastfed by my mother. Not too tall and kind of skinny. And also I suffer from nausea, heights, and everything. So basically when that happens, I basically almost broke my spine. So at that moment, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to like clench my abs or something, which I don't have. So like immediately, instinctively, I grab onto both Ren and Kyo's arms. My left side, I was grabbing onto Ren. My right side, I was grabbing onto Kyo. This is the biggest hoe phase of my life. I was like grabbing two guys beside me and I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care if I have to like say this on stream. I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care if people talk about this in stream. I don't care if there's haters telling me that I'm a hoe. I will die. I would rather get canceled than die. For some reason, they had to like zoom you up to like a specific perimeter and then stop you abruptly to tell you to put your items in the pocket. It was so weird. It's like they were like, shh, and then you stop. And then there's like this thing on the television that says, please put all your belongings in the pocket in front of you. And I'm just like, why didn't you say that before we started the ride? What if like somebody lost their wallet just now? We put all of our belongings in there. And then it was like, please tighten your seatbelt. And I was like, and at that point, my heart just dropped. I'm not even joking, chat. My heart dropped all the way to my pussy. Like, oh my god, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my life besides the Fuji Q ride that I was on like 8 years ago. And that was 8 years ago. That was when I was like a little stronger, a little bit fatter, and just more like durable because I was younger. I was like going out every day and my father was feeding me every day, you know. This one, I had just come off 2 planes. a bus ride. And now I'm on an Indiana Jones ride that everybody spent an hour and a half gaslighting me to go on. So I'm like, oh my god, people in this company want me dead. Okay, I'll just do it tomorrow then. I don't need to die here. I want to die alone and in my house. But no, they don't want me to do that. So like, the ride starts. I don't even know what the fuck happened. Apparently, you're supposed to look at a bunch of stuff. My eyes were closed shut the entire time. And actually, even if I wanted to open them, they wouldn't open. Ride just goes. I don't even know how to describe the ride. We were going down a really, really like steep slope. I've never screamed so hard in my life, which is not true. The only other time I screamed this hard was the ride on Fuji Q. But it has been a good almost 10 years since I've screamed this hard. At some point, for some reason, this psychopath, during the ride, this psychopathic alien with a raspy voice that could barely sing Blue Sugar High tried to scare me even more by pretending like his fingers were like spiders. So he tried to like tap my shoulder and pretended a spider landed on me. But the thing is, like, I was already in pure fear. That shit, I didn't even know that happened. My eyes were closed, my entire body and all the neurons in my head were in complete fear. Usually on a day-to-day basis, my neurons do not work, okay? There's only like one brain cell that's like alive. But at that moment, all 10,000 billion strands of my brain cell were activated and every single one of them was saying, you're gonna die. Literally, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die and all I see is pure darkness. I'm not even gonna see God. I'm not even seeing my parents. I'm not even seeing my bestest friends. I'm not seeing anything. I'm in so much fear that like, before I die, all I'm gonna see is darkness. This fucking ride went like super down a slope, then it went up, it went super duper fast, then it turned left, then it turned right, then it went down again. Who built this ride? Some fucking psychopath in Japan was like, yeah, let's do it like this. And then some other psychopaths like Ren would be like, yeah, this is the best ride ever. Even though I was in pure fear, my entire body completely just discarded Ren's arm. I was like, fuck this psychopath, man. Get away from me. Even in complete fear of the ride, there was still a part of my brain was just like, don't touch this man. This man has tricked the entire internet in the world into believing that he is a good person. Let go. I let go of his hand. I almost gave Kyo his 10th surgery. My fucking hands dug into his stomach so hard. I almost like poked a hole in his shirt. And at one point, there was like this one neuron in me that was just like, maybe you should loosen up a bit. And I couldn't. My hand wouldn't loosen up. Like even if I wanted to, my hands would not let go of his shirt. I'm so sorry, Kyo's shirt. But I'm so glad he was sitting on the edge because if he wasn't on the edge, I would have flown off. I would have taken off the seatbelt and jumped. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna die anyways, and I'm gonna die by my own will. Kyo was laughing the whole time. All I heard was like laughing, agonizing, gut-wrenching screaming from myself, and Ren going, woo, beside me. In pure darkness. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a really accurate depiction of what I was hearing and what I was seeing for like what felt like about 1,000 years. Like every time this ride felt like it was about to fucking stop, it just started again. It was torture. I'd rather take the airplane from Canada to Japan 4 times in a row than be on that ride that felt like 500 years. No. I'm trying to find like somebody screaming like from the gut. Oh yeah, I found one. Okay, you guys ready for the simulation? Okay, you guys back from your immersion? So that was a very accurate audio and visual depiction of what I was hearing and seeing the entire 500 years. It was absolutely terrifying. And I'm sorry that I almost literally killed Kyo, because I was grabbing onto him so hard. You know how some people go to like amusement parks to like have the experience of like a girl grabbing onto them like kawaii? No, I almost gave him his 10th surgery. I'm not even joking. Like, I almost ripped his guts open. I kept apologizing. I've never apologized to Kyo in my life, except for this time. Ren almost killed 2 people. I don't remember what happened. I just remember it was really dark because I had my eyes closed. I did open it for like a millisecond one time and I saw this boulder coming at me. This entire fucking ride was like a fucking role play. Like, we were in a psychopath's simulating role-playing game. Like, whoever made this ride literally had like a fantasy. They had the money and then they built this ride. And then they're like, I'm gonna make all these like normal people ride my psychopathic fantasies. And we did. And you know, the person who probably built this ride was probably related to Ren. But like, I saw a boulder for like a millisecond. The boulder looked like it was gonna come towards the ride, right? So in my head, I'm like, oh shit, we're going backwards now. So I was like getting really prepared for that. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna go backwards, which is really terrible because if you have nausea and the ride is going backwards, that's even worse. But no! Instead of going backwards, whoever made this ride was just like, no, we're not going backwards. We're gonna go down. How the fuck do you build a slope that's right in front of a boulder? So instead of going backwards, we just drop. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's even worse. Like, I'd rather be nauseous than in pure fear. I hate the feeling of dropping. I hate heights. Heights are like my biggest fear. I would rather throw up for 6 hours straight than like be on top of like, I don't know, like a really tall tower. So like, we dropped and I low-key almost fainted. I'm not even joking. The drop was pretty short, but it was even a second longer, I would have fainted. Like, I felt like my conscience was gonna go out. But I didn't, because Kyo's laugh was the only thing keeping me conscious. It was so loud, my ears were like ringing. And I couldn't even hear anyone else. Like, I know people were screaming behind me. I remember looking back and I saw like Aya and Shu and maybe Sunny. I'm not sure. I don't remember who sat where. But I do remember before the ride started, I looked back and I was a little scared. And everybody behind me was just like, you got this, Anna! And then low-key, I just completely forgot that there were other people around me. I was just like, it's just me and my nightmares. And then the ride finally stops after 1,000 years. We get off, and I'm not even joking you, chat. My hands were like shaking. I felt like I had shat myself 20 times. My knees were shaking, my hands were shaking. Ren looks at me with his fuckboy face, and he was like, Anna, are you okay? And I was just like, I'm gonna make sure you're graduating tomorrow. You know, he could barely speak, so he couldn't say anything back. And I could see that he felt really bad. But low-key, I don't care. And then he had to go to the bathroom, so I was like praying for him to like have a bad experience in the bathroom. I was like, I hope you get locked in the bathroom stall and that nobody hears you for like 2 hours. And then the only way for you to get out of the bathroom stall is to sing Blue Sugar in your raspy voice. Oh my god. Or even worse, what happens if he goes into the stall and there's no toilet paper and he has to be like, somebody help me get toilet. I was like, I hope there's no toilet paper in that stall. The curse is so creative. Yeah, you know. But it didn't work because like the universe obviously prefers Ren over me. And then Ren had the audacity to be like, that ride wasn't even that bad. It wasn't fast at all. I looked at him and I was about to cut his horns off. I don't remember. Again, I don't remember who the member was who said this, that they were bad with roller coasters too. But they also were like, oh, I don't remember the ride being this fast. And low-key, I was about to just like kill everyone. After the ride was finished, Petra and Marilyn, the only friends I have in this company apparently, immediately ran to me and they were like, Anna, are you okay? That ride was really intense. And Petra was like, I was riding the entire ride and the whole time I was thinking if you were gonna be okay. And I looked at Petra with my shaking hands and I just like embraced her. I can't believe you're doing, oh my, Ren, I can't believe are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ren Zoto, you are the evilest person that I know in this company. I can't believe you have the audacity to raid my stream. Forgive me. The only way I'll forgive you is if you go back to your planet and stay there. Take that blue sugar high and throw it away. Amplify yourself to another universe. Take your breathing ASMRs out of this world. I'm done with you. Ha ha. Oh, I told you guys, he's a psychopath. After this ride, I was dead, you know? But, you know, I was still alive, unfortunately. Ironically, Ren was dying because his voice was just like pure rasp after that. His voice was like really about to go poof. And you know what? Even though he almost killed me and he wanted me dead and he didn't succeed, I still cared about him. I was like, damn, a bad, like a sore voice is really bad. I wish you could have gone on the underwater ride. You would have trusted me after that. No, because I would have drowned in your lies and your psychopathic mindset. I'm glad that I didn't go underwater with you, Ren. I definitely would have drowned. And if I didn't, I would have tried to choke you and blamed it on the water. I'm glad that both of us came out of it alive, and I hope I never see you again. I'm just kidding. I feel like that was a bit mean. No! You deserve it. What a fun day it was. Yeah! I hope you feel better though. I hope your voice is back so that people can hear your psychopathic personality better.